Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about the mess. All right, y'all. So we already know what's about to happen this week. Um, on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sunday night is going down in the DMs. Okay, it's about to be a mess. So I'm sure that when the episode airs this Sunday, that will more than likely be um, a very hot topic, um, a very big part of the conversation that's being had via social media. Well, Cynthia Bailey has come out and she did an interview with Access Hollywood. And of course, they asked her about, her relationship with Kenya and just her thoughts on the situation. This is according to Reality Entertainment TV. Cynthia Bailey reveals that she hasn't spoken to Kenya Moore since the Brit Eady fallout and is disappointed in the way Kenya responded to Brit at her hair salon. All right, so let's just take a listen to what Miss 50 Cent, Miss Cheekbones had to say down in the interview.
Big story coming out of this season, which we have yet to see unfold, is Brit and Kenya.
Yes.
Everything that goes down there. Are you in touch with Kenya? Has your relationship changed based on what happened?
I have not spoken to Kenya since around the time that whole thing happened.
Okay.
And, that's really kind of a sad situation for me because I was there to just support her salon. I'm so proud of her. I know how hard she's worked on it. And I was just so disappointed to see her vision be overshadowed by what happened at the salon, which you guys will see. I felt like that should have been the focus because that was her like life dream, like building this hair care empire. And I just wish she had called me before, or like, I definitely would have like, this is your moment. This is like beautiful. The entire event was amazing, and it just ended on not such a great note. And I let her know that, because I just thought it was beneath her. I hold my friends to a standard. Kenya is a woman of class. I just felt like it was beneath her, and I was a little disappointed in how she responded.
Yeah. I could see when I asked you about her that there's like a lot of hurt.
It's like my least favorite question because like this is someone that I do care about, and I have to respect her space. I have reached out. I reached out during that time, and texted, I called, and I respect if she needs a minute, and she knows that when she's ready to talk to me, I'll be right here.
Yeah, it makes me really sad when there's true pain going on this show, and I can see that for sure there is.
Yeah, actually, when I watched the scene back, I forgot that I was actually emotional in that scene. I was like watching it, I was like mortified, obviously, with the rest of the cast, and I just didn't like it. I just didn't want that to be her moment. I didn't. And when I was, in the scene, you'll see it play out. I say that you're just better and bigger than this, and I just don't want to be here. Like, I'm just gonna leave, and I love you. And I was like, literally, there were tears in my eyes because I just want the best for her,
right?
And I want her, like, I know what she's capable of as she's a great mom.
Yes.
And I see the vision for what she's trying to do with Kenya Moore Hair Care, and I was like, no, like this is not it. This is not it. This is not it. So
I don't want to give too much of what I feel about this situation because one, I haven't seen it play out. Um, Cynthia was there. I think she said she say she already watched it. I don't know, but she was there, so I guess she really doesn't have to watch it. Um, I know that people have said that Cynthia is a flip flopper, and girl, she goes whatever which way the wind blows, right? Um, and I know that emotions are going to be high come Sunday, but I have to say, for me, okay, I actually am not disappointed in what Cynthia said in this moment. I'm really not. I'm really honestly not. At first, I thought I was going to be rolling my eyes at Cynthia. And then when I heard what she had to say, I was like, okay. I don't think it's anything wrong with how she decided to approach the question with Kenya. I do think that Cynthia loves Kenya. I do. But I think that if she thinks that her friend is wrong for how she responded to um, Brit, then that's how she feels. I think the biggest thing for me, and I'm not going to give too much away because, girl, when I say what I say on Sunday, I'm not changing my mind on it. But I will say the thing for me out of this entire situation is Kenya really ruined her moment. And her moment was supposed to be about the opening of her salon. We know that last season, they didn't even show Kenya's storyline. And so the simple fact that this was supposed to be the big ta-da, this is what I've been working on this entire time. And the moment really was taken away due to the stunt that she pulled. Please don't twist what I'm saying. I completely understand what Brit said and the stunts and shows that she pulled. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the simple fact that most people have and more than likely will be talking about the stunt that Kenya pulled, the way she decided to retaliate instead of where the focus should be. And the conversation and the focus should be on her salon, not how she responded to Brit. Now, we can get into whether or not um, she was wrong for responding the way she responded. Um, we can get into, did she take it too far? Right? We'll get into that on Sunday. But right now, I'm just talking about the simple fact that this is what she decided to do. One, at her salon. Girl, what are we talking about? And then two, you did it on the day, girl, that was really supposed to be about celebrating you in this milestone. And I can guarantee you my last $2. Come Sunday night, nobody's going to be talking about Kenya Moore Hair Care, Salon, Spa, whatever it's called. They're going to be talking about what happened at Kenya Moore Spa. They're going to be talking about the picture. They're going to be talking about folks' reactions to the picture. But that's going to be what the conversation is more than likely going to be about. Again, I'm not mad at Cynthia for what she said. I think that even, you know, in some situations, girl, even if you are my friend, I don't have to agree with the way that you move. And Cynthia doesn't give me that she's the type of girl who would be okay with anybody posting pictures of whatever the picture was. Brittany giving fellatio, I don't know. But I could see Cynthia not being down for some stuff like that. Again, this is not, I'm not even talking about whether or not Kenya was wrong for doing it. I'm not even talking about whether she took it too far. I'm just talking about the act in itself and why she decided to do it on that day in that moment. You see what I'm saying? I think there are different parts to this conversation. That's one thing I don't like. I don't understand why Kenya did that day. I don't understand why Kenya did that at her place. It's kind of like you know how when they say, remember on Two Can Play That Game when remember when a girl and the guy got into a fight and Vivica was like, girl, whenever you get it, I'm paraphrasing, I can remember her exact wording, but she was like, whenever you get into a fight with your man, you go to his house, break up his shit, and then you leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't break up your shit at your house. You go to his house and throw his vases and his plates and spoons and bowls, and then you go back to your stuff, right? That's how it kind of feels. Like, girl, you went to your place and messed up your place. Girl. But Sunday, we will definitely talk about. We'll definitely talk. We're going to get into some mess on Sunday. I think what I'm going to do is after this episode airs, I'm probably going to just get online. I'm probably going to make a video and just give my immediate thoughts, kind of like I did last week. I'm probably going to give my immediate thoughts, and then I'll also turn around and do a complete review because this is about to be a. This is about to be a. I can't even talk. This is about to be a mess, and I think all of us know it's about to be a mess. And I just think this is about to be a mess. But yeah, shout out to Cynthia again. You know, it is what it is. And yeah, we'll talk later. All right, let's move on. Oh, and another thing. I do understand that people are saying online that Kenya may, and this is the thing, I don't know. These are what I saw some people saying online. Kenya may be upset because Cynthia has been hanging out with Brit, or Cynthia hung out with Brit. Now this is where it kind of starts to get a little tricky in scenarios like this. I completely understand that Cynthia and Kenya are friends, and Cynthia definitely should have her friends back, especially if I come and tell you, girl, the new girl on the scene just started talking about pistols and whips the other night, right? Because we're not going for no mess like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you start, I'm about to start talking about. Let me reel it in. I'm about to start giving too much away, but so I get why if Cynthia was hanging out with Brit, Kenya would feel a certain way. But this is where the big but comes in. Being that this is a show and being that we still have to film, I guess we can go down the road of trying to ice her out. But sister, you're not even filming no more. And I'm just gonna call I'm just gonna call it for what it is. Cynthia is still a grown ass woman who has bills. So while yes, I have to figure out a way to navigate this space now because my friend feels that her life was in danger. My friend feels threatened, but Mama still got to work. Work ain't honest, but it pays the bills. Now, am I gonna be up kikiing and laughing with Brit? No. But if I have to go shoot scenes with her due to group settings, then that's what I'm gonna have to do. Right? Can I meet up with her one on one? Right? And shoot, okay, can I meet up with her one on one and try to figure out what happened? Yes. But at some point, I still have to work. I can't quit my job because you quit yours. I can't quit my job because your black ass done got fired. You know what I'm saying? Because I still got a mortgage. So again, I think that I know that people consider Cynthia a flip flopper and they may be upset at her response. But I think that Cynthia's response, what she did say, I think she said that with love. I really do. I don't think that Cynthia liked what Kenya did. And I think that's okay. Even if I can now. I'm not talking about for me because girl, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't care what she did, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But we'll talk more about it Sunday. But for Cynthia, she may not have liked what Kenya did. She probably didn't. Well, clearly she didn't. And I think that's okay. And I think it's okay I think it's okay to say, girl, I love her to pieces. I think she's a great mom. I think she's a great businesswoman. I know that Kenya is trying to build this multi-million dollar Kenya Moore hair empire. And girl, it just took away from the moment because of what you decided to do because you were pissed off about the situation. I think that's okay for Cynthia to say that. I do. And I also understand why Cynthia would still probably need to film with Brit throughout season 16 because I still have to go to work. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. I was gonna start talking about Matt Barnes and a whole lot of other mess, but we'll probably talk about that tomorrow. I want to talk about Matt Barnes and Aisha Howard. God, Aisha was reading the girls for filth. Hey, I said, oh no, oh. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.